Attention! Before the video starts, we would like to issue a trigger warning. The following video will discuss homophobia and transphobia, including the use of slurs, sexual harassment, sexual assault, harassment, self-harm, and other mental health topics.
Hello, my name is Will Heater.
And I'm Jason Damadio.
Jason and I, among other LGBTQ+ students, feel as if homophobia and transphobia have become way too common here at Franklin High School.
We also feel that not enough is done in regards to discrimination by Franklin staff.
We decided that we couldn't let this continue, so we talked to many members of the LGBTQ+ community from Franklin High, and we gathered a collection of stories about homophobia and transphobia.
We will read the stories in this video. Our goal with this project is to make our administration team, teachers, and the community of Franklin aware of the blatant homophobia and transphobia here at Franklin High.
The following stories all either happened at Franklin High School or were brought to the attention of the administration team. I've gotten barked, screamed, and yelled at in front of the high school while walking home.
I've heard people say slurs at school.
I was sitting outside for lunch and I heard a guy call his friends the F slur as a joke. None of them told him off. I reported it, but I don't know if he ever got reprimanded. A guy in 2 of my classes called someone on his phone the F slur while sitting next to me, and his friend just laughed. I reported it, but he's still in my class. I feel super uncomfortable, especially because of how many friends he has that would do the same. I am afraid of cisgender straight people.
During my freshman year at Franklin High School, I was in a breakout room with 2 strangers and an old acquaintance of mine. Those 2 students proceeded to make comments that made me uncomfortable, and even sexual comments about me. During a conversation between the 2 of them, one of them called their mutual friend the F slur. I said that they can't say that, and they brushed it off because their friend was cool with it. Just because someone said they're okay with it doesn't make it okay for a person to say the F slur when they are not part of the LGBTQ+ community.
I've heard the F slur being said around school casually multiple times. This goes to show that there is so much open homophobia in our school that people use hurtful and discriminating words without thinking. One example was at my class assembly, and after saying slurs need to stop was stated, a kid behind me said the F slur and then proceeded to laugh with his friend. I turned around but did not know who said it. My friend who was sitting next to me says they have said it multiple times. Another time when I was with my friend, we were walking in the hallway and a girl behind us said the F slur.
I didn't think it was important at the time, but 2 guys were holding hands and swinging them aggressively. Not to make fun of gay people, just to be what looks like for the fun of it. And a very young male teacher said, "What is that?" I don't know if he was being homophobic or not, but it was still a weird reaction. Also, my science teacher constantly gets the only 2 trans men's pronouns wrong.
I have been called the F slur, the D slur, and gay in a derogatory manner ever since middle school. I don't have an outlet to talk about this stuff, and I don't know the names of the kids who called me those slurs, so I can't report it. I'm glad that my friends are supportive of me because I feel that they are the only people in this whole school I can turn to.
I am a lesbian, and I am very fortunate to not have been harassed in high school, and for that I recognize my privilege. However, I would like to say that I have a lot of people I know who have told me that they have been harassed by students, but also by teachers. This is absolutely disgusting, and it needs to stop now. We're people too, and we have feelings too, so stop blatantly disrespecting them.
A student said my dead name multiple times when I was going up the stairwell to the track. The student only stopped when I responded.
Every year when I walk into my new classes, I am genuinely afraid to tell people my name. I'm a rather feminine person with a masculine name, so the moment I reveal my name is the moment I reveal I'm trans. I've had friends that have been threatened, bullied, and harassed, and that first moment I walk into class, I feel like I'm putting a target on my back. In the middle of my freshman year, I emailed my vice principal about changing my name in the school's records in Aspen. I had been emailed back swiftly about this name change and was told that admin would change it soon. Almost 2 months later, I emailed my vice principal about the name change because nothing had been done. I got an email back saying that they had not gotten a response from admin and that they would email admin again. Over 4 months later during the summer, still nothing had been done, so I emailed an administrator directly to have it changed, and it was changed in less than an hour.
I've been called the F slur in the halls, like I know many others have. I've been told I'm gross for having a girlfriend while not being a man. I've had sexual comments made about my girlfriend and I since I present femininely, and so does she. I've also been shunned when I ask the person not to say things like that. I've been criticized for my usage of they them pronouns to the point where I simply don't correct people anymore, since it usually results them getting upset with me.
When I first started high school, I struggled with my identity. My friends supported me as I realized I was non-binary. They adapted to the name and pronoun change, and they still support me. I knew I would face hate and believed I could deal with it, but it got worse. Many of my peers purposefully used my dead name and misgendered me. I tried to correct them, but they just laughed. I've heard others talking about me using the pronoun she on purpose. I've learned to ignore them, but it hurts knowing that people don't want me to be me. With the homophobia going around, I'm starting to fear again. Home hasn't been a safe place for me to be myself, so school has become my safe zone. If school is no longer safe and home isn't safe, where do I go? Why can't I just be me and be loved just as much as I love myself? I understand people accidentally using the wrong pronouns because I know it's hard. But when somebody makes fun of me for being non-binary, I feel like it doesn't matter and I'm just a joke. But who I am should not affect somebody else's ability to treat me like an actual human.
Many things about the gender-neutral bathrooms are discriminatory. Number 1, the signs. The signs took about 5 weeks to get. This is because they need to be the perfect signs and had many people vote on it. However, the signs are actually really problematic and offensive, saying that there are only 2 genders due to the masculine and feminine figures. Number 2, placement. Though it's not a problem anymore, the only gender-neutral bathroom at the time was in the girls' bathroom. Not only does this make many people uncomfortable, but it is very much discriminatory. Number 3, judgment. I have been judged for going into the gender-neutral bathrooms.
Throughout my time here at FHS, people I know and myself have experienced many acts of homophobia throughout the short time I've been here. I'm a freshman, and even though I may not have been here for a long time, I still have many experiences to be shared. Being called homophobic slurs in the hallways, people I know being misgendered, and even hearing people talk about me specifically behind my back, just because I'm finally comfortable with calling myself a lesbian. Throughout my time at FHS so far, I've heard stories of people telling teachers their experiences, and then them saying to come back if it happens again. Although this might be a way to respond, it's not the best option. If a student tells you an experience, you listen. You share this with the people who you know can take action on the student's problems. Although I haven't been here for long, I still know that there are a lot of homophobic problems in the school, and the only way to fix it is to listen to the experiences and to share the experiences, and take action if it's possible. It has to stop.
During a school day, I saw a couple of people that I'd heard saying homophobic and transphobic things leave the bathrooms laughing. The bathroom was the gender-neutral bathroom. When I went in after they were gone, I smelled and could tell that they had been vaping. Later in the day, I heard a few other people talking about how it's funny that they were vaping in the gender-neutral bathroom. They were saying things like, "Those F-slurs deserve it. They're so gross and that bathroom is useless anyway." It's so unfair to the students who feel unsafe because of things like this.
The amount of hate being spread through this school is insane, and it goes beyond a few remarks in the hallways. People are being threatened and harassed to the point where they can't even come to school, which is supposed to be a safe space. I personally am not publicly out, and I would like to keep it that way. I can't participate in saga or wear pride attire to avoid being harassed for my sexuality. I see so many straight couples holding hands in the hallway, but almost every gay couple I've seen has been catcalled or shoved. It's not okay for these things to continue happening, and admin is not doing anything of use. I can't be out at home right now, and because of all this, and because the admin has been unhelpful, I can't be out at school either. Keeping your sexuality hidden is exhausting, and it's having an effect on every aspect of my life. School, sports, relationships, etc.
I moved to Franklin in March of 2021. On my first day at the school after transferring, the hallway was empty except for me and 2 boys. The boys passed me in the hallway, and then one of them turned to their friend and said, "Wow, there's a lot of S-slurs in this school." This school year, I had another experience. I am a transgender male, so I went to the boys' bathroom. I was in the stall when I heard a boy run into the bathroom, grab paper towels, and turn on the sink. They then proceeded to throw clumped wet paper towels over the stall at me. I waited there for a while after they did this to me because I was scared they would hurt me. That was the last time I used the boys' bathroom because I'm too afraid of getting targeted. Another thing that happens frequently to me is that boys will jump out at me in the hallway because they find it so funny when I flinch and jump. The school and the town are beautiful, but I don't feel welcomed here.
Before class, we have a period of 5 minutes to get to our next subject. I have to go up 3 flights of stairs to get to my class, and that takes me about a minute. This window of time with tightly packed bodies and no cameras around is a time where sophomore boys love to call me slurs like the T slur and the F slur because of my pride pins on my backpack. I've been called these at least once a week because I dare to be proud of my identity. In addition, they pull at my backpack and try to tug my pins off my bag. These boys, who represent Franklin High School in sports, show such disrespect to me in the staircases that I feel unsafe around anyone who wears the Franklin jersey. I have been dead named by people who knew me from before I changed my name, but who have been told and know my chosen name. They tell people my dead name and have them call me it behind my back in the hallways or when they're walking by me, trying to get a reaction out of me and make me feel bad, which they are achieving. It is very hurtful and makes me feel very disrespected and unsafe. Once again, these people wear the jerseys of the Franklin team, which makes me upset because they are being cheered for when they are horrendous people behind closed doors. I have been barked at many times for my appearance in the hallways and staircases because of my appearance and the LGBTQ+ pins I wear on my backpack. This is so annoying and distracting because I'm just trying to go about my day without anyone being rude to me, and then I get blatantly barked at and laughed at and called slurs because of what I wear and my identity. I cannot express how disappointed I am in the people who wear Franklin's colors on the sports field because those are 90% of the people who show this disrespect and hatefulness to me and my friends.
I am an out and proud gay man. I am a freshman here at Franklin High, and I am rather feminine, so it has always been assumed that I am gay. The following stories are just some of the homophobia that I have experienced in the short time at Franklin High School I have been here. On multiple occasions, I have been mocked by people I don't know in the hallways. They use extremely offensive stereotypes to make fun of me. For the majority of the time I was in person last year, and I was constantly harassed by 2 boys. One of them has left me alone this year, but the other one has continued to harass me in the hallway during passing periods. At other times I saw him in the hallway for months. In classes and in the hallways, I have heard homophobic remarks, including slurs, most of which was done by people I have never met in my life. In the summer after 7th grade, I was sexually harassed by a group of students, some of which I knew and some of which I didn't. Well, at the start of this year, I was put into an English class where there were a group of boys, none of which I had previously met, who were seated near me and were friends with the people who had previously sexually harassed me. All the people I have mentioned, by the way, are straight. The first day was uneventful, but the second class we had a substitute teacher, and this third class we had no teacher at all. They took these opportunities to sexually harass me. After the second class full of sexual harassment, I went to my guidance counselor where I requested for me to be switched to a different class. She told me that she couldn't do anything but send me to the vice principal to report it there. I reported it to the vice principal and was told my schedule should be messed up because of other people. Keep in mind that there were like 6 boys that were involved, so they couldn't all switch their classes. So my English class was not switched, and I was forced to continue attending the same English class for a few more days. After that, I requested to meet with my vice principal again and requested that they change my English class, which they finally did. I was told the boys were called down and talked to, but still to this day they continue harassing me when they got the opportunity. For example, staring at me, calling me sexual names, etc. Many mistakes were made by admin in this situation, including not ensuring there was a substitute in our class, not switching my class immediately as requested, which led to more sexual harassment, and not doing enough to stop this harassment.
For context, I am bisexual. November 27th, 2020, I was sexually assaulted by a student from Franklin High. It took me about 3 months to actually come to terms and fully understand that I had never given consent. The boy that assaulted me is now my ex-boyfriend. I broke up with him on December 23rd after having a severe panic attack and being pressured to return to his basement by his parents and him. When I returned to school, I had fully understood what had happened. It was at this point that I warned who I thought was his new girlfriend to be careful and be aware of what happened. A lot of complex events later, I brought it to the attention of my vice principal and was told I need to move on and stop spreading lies around the school. My assault was reported to the police and an official DA investigation took place. School admin was not supportive of this process and actively tried to cover up information. Over the course of 2 years, I was pulled into my assistant principal's office and interrogated about different allegations that I was criminally harassing my assailant. His friends have been following me, recording private conversations, and even making up false allegations in order to get back at me or punish me for coming forward. These events went unchecked by FHS administration. It took my parents threatening legal action to bring the principal's attention towards the matter and calling administration to stop harassing toward me. These events deeply hurt my mental health and led to a short period of self-harm. Luckily, I had a trauma therapist outside of school that helped me recover and move forward with my life. Administration completely failed to protect me and instead chose to believe and protect the boy who sexually assaulted me. I'm still struggling to come to terms with these events and heal from the trauma instilled by not only my assault, but also by FHS admin perpetuating harassment and abuse. Even as I write down a shortened version of this story, I'm afraid of disciplinary action, retribution, or punishment in other ways when my story comes out. Nevertheless, I know that there are other survivors who experienced something similar, so I want to speak out and ensure that every victim and survivor knows they can speak out and someone will believe them. Details/events may be left out because my story has taken place over 2.5 years and is still developing, so it was too long and upsetting to share in a couple of minutes.
On top of the stories we just read, there have been more well-known homophobic and transphobic events that take place here in Franklin High.
Some of these events include the hate crime that happened at the beginning of this year, which was homophobic words and drawings drawn on a door of Franklin High.
Another example is when a member of admin used the F slur in a meeting with the senior class.
We would also like to mention the use of non-inclusive language from the staff.
That includes phrases like boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, among more.
We would now like to take an opportunity to restate our goal.
Our goal with this project is to bring awareness to the blatant homophobia and transphobia at Franklin High School. We hope that the Franklin High administration will take this as an opportunity for growth.
To get this project to the administration, we have emailed this video to Mr. Augusta, Mrs. Weber, Mrs. Santasuso, Mr. Hanna, and Dr. Ahern.
This video is also being shared with the public to hold the administration accountable and to make sure that everyone is aware of what we go through on a daily basis.
On that note, we would like to ask you to share this video. Whether you're viewing this on Instagram, YouTube, or any other platform, we would like you to post this to your story, share the link with family or friends, or repost this video to a group.
Thank you for being part of this process to end discrimination at Franklin High School.
We would like to thank all the people who submitted stories. We also want to thank all of the people who helped make this project possible. Finally, we would like to thank you all for helping us on our journey to make a positive change in the community.
We look forward to working with Franklin High School administration team and Dr. Ahern.